Good morning. I don't know what the title of this video is. I had the idea of saying, I'm leaving, ... but it's a little too dramatic. Today is my last day in this hotel, and I'm going somewhere else. And so I wanted to make this video like a summary or not a TLDR, like a 80-20 analysis of this hotel, co-living space, and like what I expected, what I didn't expect, what I learned, what was the most effective, and why I'm going to a different place, and what my hypothesis is for that. So yeah. But first, so 2 days ago, I took a rest day. I didn't work, sort of. And then yesterday, I went back to business niche opportunity brainstorming. And I actually came at it at a really interesting perspective. I had done a lot of ChatGPT back and forth. And going back through basically all of my chat transcripts, or what I did was I went back through and I reread, and there were some things that I think I overlooked while I was kind of like in the heat of the moment, and so I compiled everything, summarized it, and then I was like, okay, I have this question, like let me get out of ChatGPT and go into the real world and like see if I can find some validation for this. And I went to Reddit and I was looking at the influencer marketing subreddit, and oh my god. Like every other post was an opportunity, because people were like, what would you say? Being very specific about sharing the problems that they're struggling with, or just the problems that they're having. It's like, how do I find an influencer in the U.S. On YouTube, for my cosmetics brand? It's like, there's an opportunity right there. So that was really interesting, and I wanted to share this because it's like I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm on a good track. I found something. I'm gonna run with it. Not the opportunity, but the vehicle of finding opportunities. I came up with like a list of, I don't even know, 10 different opportunities for like things that were based on actual, real people saying something, rather than just like an idea or a fantasy. So yeah. I think my next step is, I've looked at kind of influencer marketing for an hour or two. I think I'm going to look at some other spaces, but specifically go to Reddit and see if I can find validation from real people there. I think that's a good strategy. And it made me think, because like finding actual people talking, like saying a problem out loud in words is so refreshing to see that. And I think I was like, why didn't I do this with the whole travel blogging thing? And I want to say my brother recommended I do this a while ago, or at least look into Reddit. And maybe I think I just got like too in the weeds to think about it. But I went back to, it was like travel blogging, and blogging, and I looked specifically for maps and embedded maps, and there were like a couple posts over the last like 7 years that like came up in the like, relevant search history or search results. And one person asked like, oh, what do you guys do for embedding maps in your blogs? And one person commented, Google My Maps is really popular, and then someone else commented this other tool that I had never seen before. That was cool, but like that was it. There was no like, I'm struggling to create maps. I'm struggling to generate so I think I feel good about. It's not to say that's, again, that opportunities don't exist, but comparing the two, yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about housing. That sounds so boring. It's okay. I think my hypothesis, why I came to this, so first context, this is like a co-living hotel, which just means it's like a hotel, but it has a gym, it has a pool, it has a rooftop area, it has a co-living space, which is just like a bunch of tables and outlets, and has Wi-Fi, has a big shared kitchen with two like stoves that you have to book in advance, but you can make stuff there. And then there's a cafe on the first floor. It's separate from the hotel, like you have to pay for it, but they do like really cheap buffet, breakfast, lunch stuff. And what else? There's a co-working space in the same building, but it's not part of the hotel, so you have to pay for it separately, but you get a discount if you're a resident of the hotel. I think that's all the context that you need. My hypothesis, like why I came here, was, and I made a video about this, but I think to summarize, well, first off, I'd gotten this recommendation from a guy in Bali that I met, and he said it was really good, and so I was like, okay, I don't have to think, I don't have to search, no decision fatigue, just take the recommendation and do it. I saved a whole bunch of time looking for Airbnbs, for hostels, for hotels, and so I just booked it. But some of the reasons, I think there were three reasons, if I can remember off the top of my head. One was the co-working space and valuing that. The second was there's a Anytime Fitness, like one block this way. So full-size gym that I used to have a membership to, but it's frozen, so I can just unfreeze it, and then I have another membership, basically. And the third, I don't remember the third, that's okay. So some things have changed. Like, I didn't use the co-working space at all. The only way for it to be valuable for me is if I bought a monthly pass for 1 month. I saw some other information that said like the minimum was like monthly, but you had to do a minimum of 3 months. So I don't know how that works or like which one's right, but would have been, I think, $75 US for 1 month, because I wouldn't do day passes because they're only open 9 to 6. And I would have had to either shift my sleep schedule back basically a full hour, or I usually, by the time I finish this and like get my laptop and go down and sit down to work, it's usually like 8, 7:55, 8:05, 8:10 kind of thing. And so I would start work, and then I would like get into flow, and then I have to stop, pack up all my stuff, go to the co-working space. I'd probably take like 20 minutes plus the mental drag of having to do all that. Probably take me another 30 minutes to get back into flow. We're talking like 9:45, and then 9:45 to like 11:30, 12. Like it's just not worth it. The thing it would be worth it for, and this is one of the things I'm learning is important, is Wi-Fi speeds. The Wi-Fi speeds here are like 4.8 over 3 point something, 4. It's manageable, but it's very, like, I've had to do a lot of, like, uploading these videos. They're like 6 to 8 to 10 gigabytes. I don't upload them here. When I go out for lunch, the place I eat at has like, it's like 80 megabits over 25 or something like that. I upload when I'm there. So, see, if I spent the money for the co-working space, I would just go to the co-working space and the Wi-Fi would probably be fine. But that is one thing I'm learning is important, because there have been a lot of instances where I need to download a lot of data or upload a lot of stuff, and I haven't been able to do that here. So, didn't use the co-working space. The other hypothesis was that I need the accountability of being around a whole bunch of other people that are also like digital nomads working. And I think it's probably still true, but it's like a little bit less true. The co-living space, there tend to be a handful of people also working on their laptops, but it's not really the type of environment, not even close to what it was like in Bali. Like, people don't really interact with each other. Again, probably more the co-working space, but yeah, I didn't find any issues with my routine and with working. And so I think it's still nice. I think it's more like I like going somewhere else rather than working like in the room here potentially. That would be another hypothesis to test, is if I got like an Airbnb and it had like a room and like a table and desk, like how would that work with focus and motivation and how productive I am. But yeah, so accountability, not as potentially important as I thought, and I think these videos are the foundation, or are the more of the accountability than I think the like working around other people. I have noticed a lot of times I think about the fact that I have to make a video the next day, choose to make a video, don't have to, and it's not like, oh, I'm not going to make this decision because I'm making a video. It's more like this underlying, I don't know how to describe it, but it's really helpful. So, accountability. The other thing is I didn't go to the gym, because the gym here is actually really good. They have a lot of machines, a decent amount of machines, and they have enough. And so I think one of the things that I learned was that I need less gym than I think I thought I needed. So that's useful. That is definitely useful. The next one is the thing I feel less comfortable talking about, and is the topic of, is the same thing that I was less comfortable talking about yesterday, but I think the more I think about how I'm not comfortable talking about it, the worse it gets. So I'll just speak the words and then we'll move on. I think I'm making it more of a big deal. That's not how that works. I'm making it how would you say that? A bigger deal. There we go, English. Than I think it is. So, being in my own room and not being in a hostel dorm, I thought there was a hypothesis that because I did this very well in Bali, and I think it was because I was in a dorm room and not in my own room. I think I did well, but not perfect. And that is, I still haven't learned how to control my sexual energy yet. I'm still working on that. I think it's been less of a priority. No. What am I trying to say? It has been, wait. How would you say this? I don't know how to say this, but I'm gonna paint the picture. Bali, there were times when it was very distracting because the co-working hostel was open air environment, and there was a pool, and there were a lot of beautiful women in bikinis. And so, but there was I was never alone, basically. Battery died. Thought I could get away with it. Basically, I was never alone because I was staying in a dorm room, which is good. I like that. And so that was the push. Here, nobody's in a bikini. And so, like, the thoughts daily have not come up, which is good. But I'm still in my own room. So, yeah. Anyway, maybe one day I'll learn to dive deeper into that. On a different note, something that has gone potentially well in the past 2 weeks is I have learned to work more, be more productive, and part of that is actually finding more time to work. And I know this is a slippery slope of like working more and more and more. I would like to not do that, but there's sometimes when like I just feel like, working 4 hours a day, I feel like is just not enough sometimes. So anyway, I think the function of this is the air conditioning. I think because Bali was open air, I did really well in the first 4 hours, but I think the heat of the day, midday, was actually draining a lot more of my energy than I thought I was. Like, I thought I could actually work well in the afternoons, but I just remember feeling so tired and really struggling to focus. And there have been a lot of instances where, like, that's just not even close to remotely the case here. And I think that's because the co-living space is air conditioned. So my whole first morning is air conditioned. And then after I eat lunch, which is usually pretty quick, I come back, and rather than it being hotter, my battery says it's low. What? Rather than it being hotter, it's still air conditioned. And so I think that's really helpful. And I've been looking at my stress metric for my Whoop, and it's been tending to be like in the mid range, whereas like Bali, over the course of the day, it would like get higher, and it would get like really high in midday. I think that's because of the heat. So heat. And the other thing was drinking bubble tea. Added caffeine, added sugar, not super healthy, but it did get me through those afternoon work sessions, which, it's a push and pull. talked about Wi-Fi, gym. Uh, One thing I have learned and continue to learn and have chosen to value in the next place is proximity to healthy food restaurants. Like, this place is literally perfect. It's so good because you can walk. There's like a shopping mall, business district kind of thing. Like, not even a block. It's like you walk out of the hotel, you walk across a little like side road, and then like you're in this shopping mall. And there's a big food court with a whole bunch of super cheap options. Healthy is not. It's not super healthy. But there is a like healthy food, like bowls stuff, poke bowls, that is very affordable in this shopping mall place, and I've eaten there, I think, every single day for lunch. And so, in the next place I'm going to, and when I was searching, I made a map of course I did, of like I did a bunch of searches for like healthy food, and I mapped out all of the restaurants that were like healthy food restaurants. And so I looked for basically within like a block of those places, and I found something that's like within a block of like 3 different healthy food restaurants. So I'm still, cuz like I eat there every day. It is a thing that I do every day for lunch. And so if I have to like walk 15 minutes or like take a metro or something, it's just like added time for like every day. So I think it is worth finding something where I can walk. That's, I mean, Bali, it was like literally in the same hostel. Here it's like walking not even a minute. So I think I still value that, and that's a hypothesis there. So price, this hotel, all inclusive of tourism tax, whatever else, is like $31.75 or something per night. And I found something for I think it was like $15.95 US per night, but it's a hostel, like capsule dorm kind of things rather than your own room. But it's right next to healthy food restaurants. It has a place to work with outlets. I think the Wi-Fi is good. We'll see. And it's not as super close as I want to a gym, but there is a fitness center around the corner, and there's an Anytime Fitness a couple blocks down. So the way I'm looking at this is like, for the same amount of money, I can stay 2 nights in this hostel, or I can stay 1 night in this hotel. Can I be more productive in 2 full days than 1 day here? And I think that's probably a resounding yes. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, 30 is like a little bit much for every day, unless it were worth it. And so there were a lot of Airbnbs I was looking at for between like 19, 20, 22, 24, that were kind of a similar setup. Get your own room, serviced apartments, rooftop pool, whatever else, fitness center for like 24, which is pretty good. But I think I want to try going back to hostel and see if that, like, being around other people can help push me a little bit more. Doesn't seem like it's like a digital nomad hostel, but we'll see. Sure, why not? Don't shave and don't give myself a full-length mirror in the room. And then last thing, we're just gonna skip. We're just gonna continue. No more context. Last thing is, like there's some things talking more about price. There's some things about this hotel that are like super nice, but like I just don't value or don't need. Like rooftop pool, the whole rooftop, like it's great. It's cool for photos. I went up there a handful of times in the afternoons to work. It's cool to look out, great perspective. I mean, I'm grateful for the experience, but I used the pool one time, and like the whole rooftop is all outdoors, and so going along with this hypothesis that if I work in the afternoon, I need to be in air conditioning. I started just working in the same co-living space in the afternoons, because if I went up to the rooftop, I'd get really hot and I'd lose my energy a lot faster. So yeah, like it's great, but I don't need to pay for it. It's cool. It's fun to like look out at. I've been watching traffic, you know, watching the whole like when someone brakes and then the next person brakes and it creates this chain, and then eventually you get literally stop traffic in the highway. I mean, and then every once in a while an ambulance goes by, and that's fun. I watched saw twice this like police. Would you say motorcade? I don't know what you'd say, but it's like there was two police on motorbikes, and they were like they came at the beginning really fast, and then they stopped the highway traffic on ramp, and then it was this convoy of there was a police car, and then it was a black Volvo with police lights, and then another car, I think it was like a minivan, and then another police car, and then there was a police motorbike at the end. And I saw it go this way, and I saw it come this way, and I was like, that is a really important person. It's probably like the mayor or the governor or the president or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's my video. It's not, the 80-20 is there. I think, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. It's an option here, but I think I want to try some other, taste some more, experiment some more, see if I can learn some more things about myself and where I work well and what I need and what I don't need. And if I can do that at half the price, I think I'm going to take that. So anyway, the other thing, it's probably pretty important. Maybe for obvious reasons, these videos are going to stop. But I plan to continue making videos, making these phone videos, but they're probably going to be very bad. I'm just gonna like preface with that, because it's really dark in the mornings, and so I'm not sure what to do about that. But I'll try, and we'll see where it goes, and maybe I'll move the videos to like lunchtime, or maybe I'll just accept that I'm gonna have dark videos that nobody can actually see, but maybe I'll make it a podcast, you know? I don't know. Audio only, because I walk in the dark, apparently. So anyway, if you're still here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's video will be interesting. Yeah, it'll be very dark. See ya.